This shirt may have no preservatives, but I'm sure it's highly flammable.
It certainly feels highly flammable. Gym Chats.
Hi.
Hi. So we're both 40. I'm 40.
You're 40.
47.
I'm not 40, I'm 47.
Yeah. We get so many people, even in their 30s, saying that they feel old.
That's true. And it's such a cop-out, I think, when people say they feel like, well, what is old?
What is old? What is that feeling that you're actually feeling?
Where you're feeling inflamed,
Creaky,
exhausted, and that could,
grumpy.
Grumpy.
Yeah, sore joints, fog in the head.
Fog in the head.
I think creaky is probably a really good descriptor of it. It's like you can't really touch any one spot that you're feeling it. It's just like
the whole
body. So it must be just that you're aging,
that you're
right?
getting old. But there's people could be in their 30s and they're saying that they're old.
And women in Australia have a life expectancy of 86 years, men 81 years. So we're hearing 40-year-olds come to us and say they feel old, but you've still got half or a little bit more than half, like double your life, yet to live again. Are you going to really live that old?
I think most of them will, because they've already put themselves half in the grave then.
Yeah.
You like my shirt, by the way?
Well, I was just looking at your shirt. Where did that come from?
This actually came from my grandmother.
So this is from the 70s?
I'd say so. Even though it says, read it.
Eat right. This body is all natural. It contains no artificial preservatives, colouring, flavouring or additives. So are you telling me that you're normally this colour? Is that natural?
My colour? Going to say this.
People always ask you what your spray tan colour is.
Oh yeah, I've been asked about my tan. I say, where do you get your tan from? Kawa. Not too many people get that. That's where I was born. But this shirt may have no preservatives, but I'm sure it's highly flammable.
It certainly feels highly flammable.
But Nana had this idea of old people, that people in their 60s, or anybody that was a little slow, she would call them old people because they seemed old to her, even though she could have been 20, 25 years older.
Yeah. Because she said it was all in
It's
the brain.
all in their mind.
Yeah.
And so she kept herself moving. She was constantly trying to evolve the things that she ate to make herself feel better. I was saying to her, Nana, you've got to eat more, not less. But it gets into that trap, that tea and toast trap.
Mm. So you made a deal with Nana?
I did make a deal with her.
She had to eat a steak.
Yep. Steak, fish, something meaty, something
Every
large.
day?
Every day.
And so there was a little period of time there with Nana that she had some sciatic pain. She had sore legs and it was affecting her gardening and her lawn bowls.
Yes.
And so we went in and gave her some exercises and we made that deal to eat some more protein. And
she had to get up and down.
She fed her muscles.
Yeah, fed her muscles. She had to get
up and down off the floor every day.
At least 3 times a day.
Yeah. And Nana made it to the ripe old age of?
89.
89. And so we were doing this with her when she was about 85, 86.
Yeah.
And she found that she felt better from that. She got back to lawn bowls and gardening. So she kept researching and kept working on herself. At 85, 86, 87, 88 years of age, she was still working on improving.
Right up until things I found in her house were notes about foods that would help you feel more vital, things that she would never normally eat.
Yeah.
So that's cool, but that's her mindset.
Yes.
That was her mind.
Because she was looking to improve, looking to evolve, always looking for ways to function better.
And to keep herself feeling young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you've got an 86-year-old, 88 to 89, still working on feeling better, and then we've got 40-year-olds coming in here saying that they feel old and that it's a stagnant, it's how it here to stay sort of thing. What do you have to say to the 40-year-olds?
Oh, look at what you're eating. Look at what your lifestyle's like.
What's stressing you?
What stresses you out? What do you do to are you drinking booze? And this is a big one now. Are you drinking booze to de-stress yourself?
Because it's a double negative.
And are you doing it's a whole nother chat, but the emotional eating thing. I mean, that's not picking you up, that's keeping you down.
You emotionally eat the sugar or reach for the wine. Like, don't get us wrong, we're ex-hospitality. I used to be a bartender for many years. I was in charge of the cocktail bar. So, like, we have definitely unwound a lot of our hospitality traits. But
now you can see what detriment it has to your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
To how your brain functions, to how you sleep, and all of these sorts of things. And then you get into this generation now in 40, if you have kids, maybe you've got grandkids, then your parents are getting older. And so it's like a sandwich generation where you're looking after parents a bit more, your kids and possibly your grandkids. And you're so
getting stretched both ways.
You do.
Yeah. Especially that 40 to 55 sort of age bracket, they call it the sandwich, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's stressful, and you do need tools to help you, but it's identifying the tools that are actually sabotaging versus the tools that will help you get through. And those tools are improving your sleep, doing better stress management techniques than boozing and caffeinating. Although we have coffee in here, it's black, no sugar. Now, speaking of hospitality times, I used to be coffee, white, 3 sugars. I used to have probably 10 of those a day.
It was actually you, when we first met, I would have tea. I never drank coffee. So I was a tea drinker, which was quite annoying because I'd get the teapot and then I'd end up having...
You'd have finished your coffee and she's still...
I've got all of this tea paraphernalia there, and people just like, well, let's go have a quick coffee. It's like, oh, hang on, I need to drink all of my tea before we go. And so someone said, you need to start drinking coffee. I'm like, I was about 33. So then I would have a mocha, and I'm like, oh, I can't have milk, so I'll have a soy mocha. And then I got told by someone, it's like, you are not drinking that shit.
This was not me.
You are not drinking that shit. What sort of coffee you want? A soy mocha. And the look I got was amazing. You are not drinking that shit. So she ordered me a black coffee and then put cinnamon on it. So I was like, okay. So I'm a big kid in Melbourne now, 33, drinking coffee and cinnamon. And then you're like,
I think I laughed at you for having cinnamon in your coffee.
Because I couldn't actually stand the taste of it. But then when it came to me, because milk's not good for me, do I like the milk? Because I miss mum's milk. I'm like, what the fuck? No. Well, then do you like the taste of coffee? It's like...
What are you drinking the coffee for?
What are you drinking the coffee
for? The yummy
for?
cuddle of a milky beverage, or are you drinking it for the purpose of the flavour?
The flavour.
Yeah.
So now I enjoy a black coffee. But the point is, nothing just changes overnight. People look at us and they think, oh, you guys...
We came out of the womb this way.
Exactly, but it doesn't. I mean, soy mocha. Even if I think about putting cinnamon in my coffee now. But it's an evolution. And if you don't start to make some changes, you never will.
Well, it's just trying different things, right? If you never tried the cinnamon in the coffee, and it was a step in the evolution, like my way of getting off...
But then if I told you all to get fucked and just drink tea, I wouldn't drink coffee now, though. My tea drinking.
Tea drinking.
That's right. I survived nearly, 15 years in a kitchen without drinking coffee. I would still have tea in the kitchen. So it's an evolution. And if you feel like you're old and you're doing the same shit every day, have a look at one little habit. Maybe it is that triple shot caramel sugared up latte that you have every single morning. Even if you cut that out.
Just reduce the caramel by half.
Just reduce the size.
Yeah. So my evolution was the triple sugared, 3 teaspoons of sugar, flat white. And then I worked it down, 2 teaspoons, 1 teaspoon, and got to just a straight flat white. And then I realised that actually the dairy was giving me some issues. So then I worked down a 3/4 flat white. a half milked flat white, and then I eventually got to doing black coffee from there.
But then it's all of those little changes.
Oh, it took like probably a year and a half of concentrated effort.
It makes an effect in the end. But it's the ones that never change, that stay in that stuck feeling of like, oh, well, I'm old, or...
Yeah, and that's a static state. I am old, full stop.
But I'm
Is
not
that going to change? Like,
it won't unless you do something to
rather
change.
than thinking at the moment I'm feeling old and I'm going to make a step every day towards feeling less old. Like, there's been people that we've helped in their 60s and 70s that felt better than they did in their 40s. Come back and told us.
I feel probably better in my body now than I did in my 30s, because I was quite achy then, but my diet was terrible then. I was fitter for sure, but I didn't feel as good in my body.
Not as well balanced.
No. I had a thing for cabanas. I would finish training
And 2-for-1 wines on the Woolworths specials, the receipts.
No, buy two, get one free.
Buy two, get one free. Oh, so you had 3 bottles on the way home from the supermarket.
That's right. Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
New Zealand's finest.
That's the chef coming out.
So really, if you want to get to a place where you feel vital,
You've got to be willing to change something.
You change
small.
something. Change one thing and keep it consistent. I don't drink, well, I haven't been drinking for a little bit, really. But you change one thing and you keep it consistent, then the next thing, then the next thing. It's when people come in and they think, oh, I want to change my whole life, that's when they get fucked up, because it's too much. So one thing.
One thing at a time. And so, like, not drinking, for example, that was probably the hardest one, like cutting down our coffee consumption. But the most recent and most difficult one has been cutting down the drinking. It's been such a part of our lives, in our cultural lives. Like, for me, ever since I've been working in hospitality since I could get a job. Like, I was in kitchens, and, you know, the knockoff drink that you're observing all the time, and the family gatherings and everything was all had beer and wine.
But sometimes you need a drink to deal with.
Yeah, and very anxious person when I was younger, so I needed that drink to feel a little bit able to communicate with people, to have a conversation, to socialise. I needed at least 2 drinks into me, which I'd smash down really quickly, so that I was a little bit jovial, and then I could loosen up and have a conversation. Like, that's anxious Larissa. That's what she does. I should say that's what she did.
Yeah.
And it's just acknowledging that. The first thing you have to do is acknowledge it. Where does that come from? Why am I doing that behaviour? Oh, it's because I was feeling anxious. Is there something else that I can do? Or what is it about the social situation that I'm going into that I'm so anxious about? And am I trying to force myself to be in this social setting that is actually not aligned with me and who I am? Like, why am I forcing this and putting myself in that situation?
Yes.
Where I feel I need the alcohol to
Or
actually
you just
deal
throw
with the
me into
situation.
it. You just throw me into things too.
Jade's the ultimate conversation starter.
Just throws me into these things.
More my point being with the alcohol is acknowledging what you're using it for and finding an alternative, or addressing the actual situation. Do I need to be going into that situation? Is it beneficial to me? The relationships that I'm sustaining, are they positive relationships for me that I feel I need to drink to be able to sustain those relationships? Are they giving me as much positivity as that negative that I'm getting out of it? It's addressing all of those things.
Well, yes.
So anyway, that story is about feeling old and making choices to not feel as old anymore. So 40-year-old me, 47-year-old Jade, sitting here saying we feel less old now than we did in our 30s because we've made these small incremental changes all the time. The Jade and Larissa you see sitting here today, we didn't come out of the womb this way. We acknowledged things in our lifestyles and our food especially that were making us feel achy, sore, inflamed, holding fluid, makes you
Grumpy.
actually feel pain more, grumpy. You're an asshole when you eat horrible, especially sugars and things like that. The snitchiness comes out. Do you want to be a really good person? Like, everybody's a good person inside, but what are the things inside that are making you feel scratchy, irritable, like pain makes you grumpy, crappy sleep makes you grumpy?
It's more about being the person that you want to be,
That's
because
what I mean.
because a lot of people that I talk to, they're not the person that they want to be. The behaviours, the showing up for the people that they love, the productivity that they have. And then when you suggest, it's like, well, let's have a look at your food. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. It can be quite foreign, but really, that's...
If you're not fueling your brain, hydrating your brain, how are you meant to think
Exactly.
straight? How are you meant to be happy? And therefore, a good person in your relationships, a good parent, a good
partner.
person to hang around with.
But then, like, I put this really simply to people, and you're a little bit more scientific than me, but really, so eat crap. My stomach, my digestive system works so hard to work through that crap. My brain gets the dust of energy. That's as simply as I put it to people. But if I'm giving myself nice fuel that my digestive system can work through, good, clean food, then the brain gets the energy as well. And so anyone that I've seen that's like, okay, clean your food up a little bit. Oh my gosh, I can think clearly now. It's like, yeah, because you're not clogging your system up with crap.
So the last thing on that is supplements that we use to keep ourselves and our brains feeling really active and switched on. And for me, it's two main things that we do. Number one is creatine in the morning. Since we've added the creatine in the morning, all cravings have reduced. Not immediately. You do need to get your levels of creatine up in the system, but after about 2 months of consistent one serve first thing in the morning upon waking is how we've been taking it. Definitely by the 3rd or 4th week, we started noticing I'm just naturally dropping away the coffee consumption. So I was still probably having 5 or 6 week-long blacks a day, which is still a lot of caffeine. Now I'm having 2, and I'm satisfied with that. And it wasn't that I'm concentrated on cutting them down. I've just naturally gone, not been seeking it. So that's seeking behaviour. The same with alcohol. The seeking it out is gone, like actually gone, which I cannot believe, because like I was the champagne girl. You asked me if I was happy, I wanted to be celebrating and have a glass of champagne in my hand. That's just how I was. So that's a huge one for me. Especially the ultimate test was over Christmas, and I didn't have a glass on Christmas Day. I was happy with my water, and I was actually satisfied with that. Like I didn't even want for it. I was looking at other people having a glass, and I just was like, I just don't even want for it, which was a really nice feeling. So creatine has been huge. The last thing on the creatine for me, having a history of chronic fatigue, I had a whole lot of immune system issues when I was 16. And pretty much since then, the glandular fever, running into chronic fatigue and all sorts of stuff, I hadn't had brain fog leave me since then. And I just realised the other day, it's not there.
It's great.
That's great. That's like amazing for me. So that's the number one. And number 2 is our magnesium stack that we have at night time. A particular type of magnesium called magnesium threonate. It's been heavily researched over the last 10 years for its ability to get into your brain and really calm the nervous system and make better sleep. They're even researching it a lot for Alzheimer's. So that one in a compound with glycine, which goes well with the nervous system, calming again. and then a good dose of magnesium glycinate. I make a compound for us, and we have that before bed, and it works a treat. How do you find it?
I sleep pretty soundly with that. I mean, busy days with a busy mind. Our business is quite full on, and you want to show up for the people that come here to improve themselves, and so we need to be on top of our game for ourselves and for our people, so sleep is really important.
Yeah. So that's been like, that's the main supplements that we take is about brain and recovery from training, and also creatine helps with muscles and muscle growth, delivery of oxygen to the muscles and the brain. So we've got that delivery and the upkeeping of our muscles, and then on the other side of the day, having the magnesium and the calming of the nervous system and the regeneration of the muscles, making sure that we're sleeping properly, because that's when all of our healing happens. So that's it. That's our main mainstay, other than some fish oils and general making sure our food is on point. That's the main supplement stack we take.
Yep.